Hey guys, Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. We want to thank you so much for all the support you've given us here on the network. And if you want to see what we're up to outside of the station, please follow us all over social media. I'm on Twitter at Mike M Media and on Instagram at Mike Mercado Media. You can follow the good brother Alex Mercado on Twitter at Mercado21Alex and on Instagram at Mercado2121. The lovely Nicole Mancha's on all social media platforms at Typing When Tipsy. You can follow the network on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves, our pop culture show, The Good Brothers, on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod, our true crime shows on Instagram at Murder, Mysteries, and More, and of course, like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all our videos on youtube.com/Mike Mercado 2333 or by searching Mercado Airwaves Network. We play video games on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network, and of course, you can support our network by finding a tier just for you, whether you want early access, you want to be part of polls, you want to win contest prizes, by visiting us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. And we really appreciate it wherever you get your favorite podcast to like, rate, review, and share us. And please spread the word. For the good brother, Alex Mercado, for the lovely Nicole Mancha, I'm Mike Mercado. We wish you a happy, healthy holiday season and an awesome new year.
And here we go.
Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
Welcome back to another episode of The Good Brothers, the best damn pop culture show in the Midwest, in Chicago, in the universe, in the multiverse. I'm your host, Mike Mercado. I want to thank you so much for making us a part of your day. I am in the Millennium Falcon by myself. My Chewbacca is not here today. The good brother himself, Alex Mercado, is handling some business at work. So you have myself, Han Solo, Mike Mercado here to take you through a galaxy far, far away. We have a lot of stories we have to get into on this episode of The Good Brothers to really kick off 2020. We get through the box office results and what you can spend your money on in the theaters. The New Mutants trailers drops and we get a release date for the next and final X-Men movie that came out from Fox. Christian Bale in the MCU. We have Ricky Gervais having a crazy time at the Golden Globes, some wrestling talk, some football talk, and a lot more here on this episode of The Good Brothers. But before we get to anything else, let's all go to the movies. At number one in the box office was Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. At 2, Jumanji, The Next Level. At 3, Little Women. At 4, Frozen 2. At 5, opening up this weekend, The Grudge, making $11 million. I don't know if that's good, if that's bad, but nobody wanted to see this movie, and the box office shows it. Interesting to see how this played out, and not getting great reviews, actually getting lambasted in the reviews over on Rotten Tomatoes. So really interesting to see that. But The Grudge comes in at number 5. At 6, Spies in Disguise. At 7, Knives Out. At 8, Uncut Gems. At 9, Bombshell. And at number 10, Cats. Also want to give a little love to Ford v Ferrari, Richard Jewell, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and Queen and Slim, who all made over $1 million. And getting ready for the Oscar season. We are already in the midst of award season, but that is how your box office looked this past weekend. Star Wars staying strong at number 1, making a boatload of money, over $450 million already. So it's a bona fide success. But The Grudge coming in very low. But what can you spend your money on this weekend? How about 1917 finally getting its wide release, getting a lot of love? Sam Mendes, I believe, directed this, and it looks like it's going to get a lot of award love and press throughout the next few weeks and months. Over just under 2 hours, so it's a nice watch, and I don't feel like it's going to be overwhelming in that sense of your time, but it might be a rough movie, obviously being about the war. 1917 looks like it's going to be a hell of a movie. I can't wait to check that out. Just Mercy, Brie Larson, Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx. That's going to be really interesting. It's getting its wide release, so we'll see how that works out there. But that is what you can spend your money on this weekend in the theaters. So one of the biggest running jokes in all of Hollywood right now is this entire New Mutants saga, from moving its release date so many different times to where we're at right now. And we finally got a trailer for it. And it looks like we have an official release date, April 3rd, 2020, with this new trailer that came out. And I thought this trailer looked amazing. Josh Boone looks like he did something really cool with this movie. It looks like with all the rumors and everything that's been the fallout from this new trailer and what we're hearing about this movie this is the movie Josh Boone created 4 years ago. You know, there was a lot of talk about them doing a lot of reshoots and new storylines and a lot of different things for the success of it and the horror basis of it. But it looks like whatever film Josh Boone tried giving us all those years back, we're finally getting that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm very excited about this movie. There's a lot of great young actors in it, and we'll just see how it plays out. I really hope for success in this movie. I've always had a soft spot for the X-Men in my heart when it comes to pop culture. But over the last few years, what's happened with the X-Men franchise in particular, not Deadpool, but what they've done, besides the Logan and Deadpool movies, like what was X-Men Apocalypse and X-Men Dark Phoenix, really didn't hit. And I'm really hoping that the New Mutants gives us something very unique, and we get to see it on this release date, and it ends up being a very successful movie. But let us know what you thought about the trailer that we saw and the official release date, or at least the new release date of April 3rd, 2020 of New Mutants. And we stay in the comic book universe as an Academy Award nominated and winning actor jumps back into a superhero universe. At least that is what the trades are telling us coming out of Los Angeles, as Christian Bale is being looked at to be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe as part of Taika Waititi's new movie, Thor, Love and Thunder, aka Thor 4, and this is coming off of Taika Waititi obviously being on a crazy roll with his movies, The Mandalorian. If you're not familiar about exactly the movies he's made, we're talking recently about Thor Ragnarok, and we're talking recently about The Mandalorian season finale, I believe, and a movie that might get nominated for an Oscar, might win an Oscar, might win him a Best Directing Oscar, and that is Jojo Rabbit. So here we are now. Christian Bale might be joining the MCU in a movie, in a franchise that really got it a boost of energy. Some lightning struck into it with Taika Waititi's Thor Ragnarok, which was such a fun time in the movies, leading us into Avengers Infinity War. So here we are now for Thor 4. There's going to be a lot of interesting stories we're going to see. We're obviously seeing Lady Thor because we know Natalie Portman's Jane will be a Thor in this movie. How is Thor going to come off of Avengers Endgame? And then you bring in Christian Bale, who could play Mephisto, who could play Thor's uncle. There's so many different characters a guy like Christian Bale can get lost in. The big rumor is Beta Ray Bill. Now, Beta Ray Bill, for anybody who isn't familiar with the comic books, is one of the coolest looking characters. I don't even know if he's an ex-Guardian, but regardless, he looks kind of like a goat horse space, and he's just this epic looking dude. And if you watch Thor Ragnarok, his face is actually on the tower when we get in to see the city that Hulk is in, and that tower that the Hulk's with. So really loved what we might be seeing with that, and I think that character will be in the movie. But Christian Bale specifically, you don't get an Oscar winner to not really utilize him in a certain way. Now, mind you, we do have somebody like Bradley Cooper who ended up being a raccoon, who's just doing the voiceover. We have Vin Diesel, who's a big star, who's just doing I Am Groot. So there is a possibility that you could see him play a role like that. But just the fact that there's this possibility that Christian Bale, take away Batman, take away all the genre films, Christian Bale, one of the greatest actors alive right now, might be joining the MCU, might be joining one of the most beloved and most fun franchises in Thor, being helmed by Taika Waititi. That sounds amazing. Sign me up. But let us know your thoughts. What do you think about the potential of Christian Bale being added to Thor, Love and Thunder? So the movie industry is always a buzz, but the TV land took a big spotlight this past week, and a lot of that had to do with the Golden Globes. And one of the biggest moments, obviously, was host of the night, Ricky Gervais, basically going off, taking the virtual machine gun and mowing down the audience when it comes to telling his jokes. I don't know if that's in poor taste, but regardless, everything's in poor taste in 2020, and we have to just basically say what it was. And a lot of it had to do with the weird perception we're seeing from Hollywood and from the audience and from left-winging people, right-wing people, from what we're seeing Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, liberals, like the polarization of everything. And what he says, thank your agent and your God and fuck off and all this other stuff, there was just something very poetic about how it was handled. Because there was a shock in it. And I think that's what was great about it. Sometimes you do need a little shock in the system. Now, the one thing I will disagree with, and this is just all in theory, philosophically speaking, people should use their platform. I think the problem is when people take themselves way too seriously, way too often, and aren't able to read the room. I think it's really interesting that people follow certain people just because of notoriety and not because of what we've seen from them. And I wish there was a way I can eloquate that even better for you to really drive it home. But bottom line is, it's great to have admiration for people. And it's great to respect people. And it's great to listen to people. But that's the point, is you have to listen to people. You have to understand. You have to do research. You have to be multifaceted and have different perspectives. And you also don't lecture people. So Ricky Gervais just absolutely going crazy on that night was amazing in the Golden Globes. But make sure you guys check it out and let us know what you thought about the quote-unquote controversial monologue. And it wasn't just Ricky Gervais and the Hollywood elite that were taking over the television world, as we saw some of the best football of 2019, that would be 2020, when it comes to the NFL wildcard weekend in the playoffs. And holy cow, obviously these are juggernauts when it comes to the ratings. If you're a TV fan or one of these nerds like myself or the good brother Alex, where we like to know about the ratings and we want to know what people are watching, the NFL is king. And the playoffs have games like this once every day. You're going to get monster ratings. You're going to get good vibes and people are going to want to watch. And what you're seeing is, and you saw it in the Kyle Rudolph play, they're not going to want to call things. They don't want the refs to be the story of these playoffs. Now, there's a lot of young guys, and you don't have the name states. You don't have those marquee players, but you're building new ones. We are seeing Patrick Mahomes in State Farm commercials. It's not the same as like Drew Brees. People don't know Deshaun Watson the same way they know Tom Brady, but they will. People will learn the name Lamar Jackson. And it's going to be interesting to see these new wave of superstar quarterbacks and superstar teams become the next realm and the next wave of marketing and superstardom that we did see with other generational players before them. And the field is starting to get a little bit more clear. We've always wondered who was going to be the guy or guys post Manning, post Brady, post Breeze. And we're starting to see it right now. Ben Roethlisberger is on his way out. Phillip Rivers is on his way out. Eli Manning's on his way out. We're starting to see new names. There's guys coming into the league in the next few years. There's running backs and wide receivers that are bigger than ever when it comes to their brand. We're seeing the next generation of superstar. And eventually we're going to see the next batch of quarterbacks that will become the faces of the NFL, and we're seeing it right now. Aaron Rodgers is that last, quote, young old guy. The eldest of that new crop and the youngest of that old crop. So it'll be fascinating to see that. But the first week of the NFL playoffs, the NFL wildcard playoffs were amazing, and I can't wait to see what we get in the divisional round in the NFL. Wrestling is back in full effect. AEW and NXT are getting ready to start off 2020 with a bang, and we had an amazing way to start 2020 when it comes to all us wrestling quote-unquote marks. We got to see New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 14 over 2 nights here in the United States. Started at 2 in the morning. Luckily, or unluckily, depending on your point of view, your boy had to be at the radio station, so I got to watch most of these a little later into the morning. But Wrestle Kingdom always feels like a big deal, and they do a good job of marketing a lot of their stars. I do know a lot of these guys. Now, you definitely need to be a little bit more in the know to know some of these names, like Jay White, like Ibushi, Okada, Naito, Tanahashi. There's Will Ospreay. There's some guys that you have to be a little deeper in the knowledge to know. There's some that if you're just on social media, on wrestling Twitter, they were great matches. Way too long of a show. I think it's hypocritical that we can make fun of WWE, but then nobody wants to make fun of Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan, AEW, anybody who does long shows. But I'm willing to accept them. This is something that the Good Brother, myself agree on. Even Super Mercado brother Marcos agrees on. We'll be willing to watch a long show if it's good or if it's a special occasion. Wrestle Kingdom is a special occasion. I'm not watching New Japan most times in the year. So that's kind of fun. WWE, if you give me the major 4, I'm cool with that. And then the rest of the pay-per-views are 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Cool. But anything longer than that, that's too much. I think that's my biggest complaint about Wrestle Kingdom. It's just way too long. 7 hours both nights. But the Jushin Liger thing was really cool. A lot of the matches. Kind of wish Ibushi would have went over and won both titles. But it being Naito over Okada, at least it's not Okada, who basically is just a champion. That's his gimmick. But great wrestling all around, and I enjoyed New Japan, and I'm super excited to get really back into AEW Dynamite and NXT. Let us know what you're expecting for 2020, especially since we are getting ready for the Royal Rumble, and the Good Brother and myself will make sure to have our picks and our predictions over the next few weeks. But let us know, what are you excited about in the wrestling world for the year of 2020? And finally, before we head out of here for the week, I know I speak for the Good Brother himself, Alex Mercado, for the lovely Nicole Mancha, and everybody here on Mercado Airwaves, from all the shows we do, anybody who's ever been a guest, special friend of the show, sponsor, whatever the case may be. We want to send out all our love and our support to the people of Australia and the people of Puerto Rico who are going through some crazy natural disaster stuff right now, obviously with the fires and the earthquake. And then there's a lot of crazy political stuff going on right now. And this isn't the forum for it. At least I know that's not why you're coming here. And I have my own opinions. And, maybe if we ever do discuss these things, we'll make sure you know that we're discussing these things. But with all that being said, because there's a lot of crazy conflict and a lot of crazy news, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we are sending our love to all of you who are struggling, for all of you in general, just to the humankind, to people, to our friends, to people who listen to us, who kind of like us, who hate us, whatever the case may be. We hope you're having a better day. We hope you have a better few days. We hope things turn around. We hope that, you do feel a little loved, or that something good does happen to you. Life is hard, and sometimes it's not fair. So, some people deserve a break, even the assholes. Not all the time, but regardless, let's be better people. But that'll do it for us on this episode of The Good Brothers. Thank you so much for joining us here on Mercado Airwaves. We really appreciate you making us a part of your day. Make sure you follow us all over social media. I'm on Twitter at Mike M Media, and on Instagram at Mike Mercado Media. You can follow the Good Brother himself on Twitter at Mercado21Alex, and on Instagram at Mercado2121. The lovely Nicole Mancha is on all social media at Typing When Tipsy. You can follow the network on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves, and this podcast itself has its own Twitter handle. You can just follow it at Good Brothers Pod. Our true crime show has an Instagram at Murder, Mysteries, and More. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333, or just search Mercado Airwaves Network. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Please like, rate, review, and share us wherever you get your favorite podcast at Mercado Airwaves. The support and growth you guys helped us attain in 2019 was amazing. We couldn't do it without you. So we really appreciate you, and thank you so much for spreading the word, for sharing the network, for sharing the shows. Let's keep this train moving. And for nothing else, we just love growing the community. So wherever you get your favorite podcast, at Mercado Airwaves. And of course, if you would like to support the show on another level, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. We have a bunch of awesome tiers that you can join to support the network. You could join on giveaway and contest tiers. You could join a tier where you get early access to our interviews with athletes and celebrities before anybody else, and so many other things that you could join to support the network. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. For the good brother himself, Alex Mercado, I'm Mike Mercado. We'll see you in the next episode of The Good Brothers here on the Mercado Airwaves Network.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves.
Hey guys, Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. We want to thank you so much for all the support you've given us here on the network. And if you want to see what we're up to outside of the station, please follow us all over social media. I'm on Twitter at Mike M Media and on Instagram at Mike Mercado Media. You can follow the good brother Alex Mercado on Twitter at Mercado21Alex and on Instagram at Mercado2121. The lovely Nicole Mancha's on all social media platforms at Typing When Tipsy. You can follow the network on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves, our pop culture show, The Good Brothers, on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod, our true crime shows on Instagram at Murder, Mysteries, and More, and of course, like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all our videos on YouTube.com/Mike Mercado 2333 or by searching Mercado Airwaves Network. We play video games on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network, and of course, you can support our network by finding a tier just for you, whether you want early access, you want to be part of polls, you want to win contest prizes, by visiting us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. And we really appreciate it wherever you get your favorite podcast to like, rate, review, and share us, and please spread the word. For the good brother, Alex Mercado, for the lovely Nicole Mancha, I'm Mike Mercado. We wish you a happy, healthy holiday season and an awesome new year. Hey guys, Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. We want to thank you so much for all the support you've given us here on the network. And if you want to see what we're up to outside of the station, please follow us all over social media. I'm on Twitter at Mike M Media and on Instagram at Mike Mercado Media. You can follow the good brother Alex Mercado on Twitter at Mercado21Alex and on Instagram at Mercado2121. The lovely Nicole Mancha's on all social media platforms at Typing When Tipsy. You can follow the network on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves, our pop culture show, The Good Brothers, on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod, our true crime shows on Instagram at Murder, Mysteries, and More, and of course, like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all our videos on YouTube.com/Mike Mercado 2333 or by searching Mercado Airwaves Network. We play video games on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network, and of course, you can support our network by finding a tier just for you, whether you want early access, you want to be part of polls, you want to win contest prizes, by visiting us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. And we really appreciate it wherever you get your favorite podcast to like, rate, review, and share us, and please spread the word. For the good brother, Alex Mercado, for the lovely Nicole Mancha, I'm Mike Mercado. We wish you a happy, healthy holiday season and an awesome new year.